Greetings and salutations. I am in sun energy. I'm chilling today. My energy feels pretty neutral, but it is Sunday, creation day, right? If you're watching this and it's not Sunday, I like to play with the sun energy on Sunday. So it usually has me thinking about themes of creation and growth. And this morning I was sitting in the sunlight after reading something about how plants turn towards the light in order to grow. And I turned my head towards the warmth of the sun without even realizing it. And I had a thought that, what if we are like that a little bit too? Flowers turn towards the sun, moths move towards the flame, and in astrology, the sun in your chart might show where your life naturally keeps turning towards growth. Almost like a moth to a flame, right? Today I wanted to talk about how the sign and house of your sun show where your life naturally wants to shine, where you naturally are a moth to a flame. So what the sun represents in astrology a lot of times has to do with vitality, life force, identity, because it's the space in which you personally might identify, creativity, the act of becoming yourself. It's your action space, the sun energy. It's the light inside of you that wants to express itself into the world. It also represents where your life keeps asking you to grow. And there is where the house placement becomes really important of where the sun is. This is where the house plays. Slow down, breathe. Okay. It also represents where your life keeps asking you to grow. And that's where the house placement becomes really important. We had to take a second, rewind that, and just redo it. And that's okay. Because we're in the energy today. And we're just adjusting and we're flowing. Because the sign shows how your light shines, but the house shows where that light wants to grow. This is how the sun works in your own natal chart. And in a transit chart, when you're looking at where the sun is moving, it's also indicating these things in your life. So if the sun is like a direction of growth, think of the sun in your chart like this. It's the direction your life naturally keeps moving towards. Even if you resist it for a while, even if you try to ignore it, life keeps nudging you back towards that place. Almost like the flower that slowly turns towards the sunlight through the day. That doesn't mean you're forced into something. It just means your vitality tends to increase when you express yourself in this area of life. That's where you collect the gems of experience. Every time you show up there with more awareness, more courage, and more authenticity, right? If we think about how I'm sorry for wiping my nose. I don't have a tissue, but I just didn't want it on my face. Anyway, the sun moves through the sky, and in astrology, it moves through 12 zodiac signs, and this movement takes a full year in our human understanding of time. 365 days on average, right? So if you think about it, that sun sign is moving through certain spaces that it is bringing awareness to where there is a want to increase some type of vitality in your life, right? To express something in your life. And what sign that sun is moving through is focused on the energy that, is trying to be expressed in that way. And as you grow and expand, and I think of it as collecting gems, maybe meet that growth, have that evolution, you're evolving your levels of consciousness. So you're continuing to repeat this cycle from Aries to Pisces with the sun energy. But every time you do it, if you accomplish the mission or expand the growth and get the gem, you're increasing your level of awareness and consciousness for your existence. And that's kind of developing as the cycle goes. So the sun through the signs, let's kind of break it down in that way. The sign of your sun describes the style of energy you bring to life, right? So we'll go through them. Aries sun, your light shines through courage, action, and independence. That is where your light is its brightest. That is where the energy expresses from you naturally. Taurus sun, your vitality grows through stability, beauty, and building something lasting. You find that this energy often exudes from you. You shine brightly when you're growing through these themes. Gemini sun, your energy comes alive through communication, curiosity, and learning. This is where your expansion with your connection on how your ideas are expressed, and the ideas are even expanded, what you're learning, your energy becomes alive when it's experiencing this. Cancer sun, your light shines through nurturing, emotional connection, and protection. So you're going to experience your light shining the most warmly in your actions and in your just energetic, natural state when you are being emotionally receptive and giving emotion to the world, and you're protecting the things that you care for, right? What do they say about cancers? Cancers, I care. I care. I care about how I feel. Leo sun, your vitality grows when you express yourself creatively from the heart. Whenever you're expressing yourself from what you really feel in your heart and you're giving it in a generous way because you're looking to just shine the light in that way, you're going to find that that light shines in a more increased standpoint, in an increased version. Virgo sun, your light shines through improvement, service, and attention to detail. So when you're engaging in these type of activities, experiences, and energy, your light is going to be very luminous in showing that these are actions that brighten you up. Libra sun, your vitality grows through harmony, relationships, and beauty. Being able to relate to others and things outside of you, find the commonality, the common ground, seeing the beauty within things, you're going to find your shine just growing. Scorpio sun, your light shines through transformation, truth, and emotional depth. The deeper you can go into the knowing of something and allowing that knowing to allow you to become new and reborn into something and finding a truth that is fully in your core, you're going to shine light in that area. Sagittarius sun, your energy expands through exploration, philosophy, and freedom. When you find that you are able to expand, you're able to explore themes, you're going to find your energy expanding in your light in that form. Capricorn sun, your vitality grows through discipline, mastery, and long-term achievements, okay? Why do they call Capricorns the goat? Because they are continuously climbing a mountain to get somewhere. So the more disciplined you are and the more mastery that you bring into building of that. I think this was up here and it slid down. I like to typos around myself. The more you're going to shine in your long-term achievements. It's going to show when you are moving your energy in that way. Aquarius sun, your light shines through originality, authenticity, and collective awareness. So the more that you shine your light on being original, and not being original to be opposing, but being original because that is just what you are, being authentically true to you, and having a collective awareness of what the future can be for others, the benefit that you can bring to the world, that is amazing. And a lot of times being authentically yourself is bringing that energy just to the collective by just being yourself, because that's allowing others maybe to be inspired by that. Aquarius energy revolutionizes things, and that's where it shines. Pisces sun, your energy flows through imagination, compassion, and spiritual connection. The more that you're able to just be unconditionally compassionate, spiritually connected to whatever it is that you find a spiritual totem for yourself, your energy will flow. The more that you allow your imagination to just create and shine, your energy flows in the sun energy in that space. So that is the sun energy in like science. The other element that comes into play is the sun energy when it comes to being in the houses. So I lost my place. Give me a second. I found it. I kind of want to pause you and get a tissue, but I think I can make it through. So let's see what happens. Okay. So the sun through the houses. Now the natal house placement tells you where your life keeps pulling you to shine, right? If the sun placement is where you have a certain energy that you bring to life, the house placement is more about where life keeps pulling you to shine. This is more moth to the flame energy, right? Okay, let's break it down through the houses. The first house, you're meant to grow through becoming fully yourself. The second house, your life pushes you to develop self-worth and personal value. Third house, growth comes through communication, ideas, and connection with others. Fourth house, your vitality grows through emotional roots and creating a meaningful home. The fifth house, your life calls towards creativity, joy, romance, and expression. Sixth house, growth comes through daily practice, health, and meaningful work. Seventh house, your life energy grows through relationships and partnerships. Eighth house, you evolve through transformation, deep emotional experiences, and shared resources. Ninth house, growth happens through knowledge, philosophy, travel, and higher learning. 10th house, your life calls you to be visible and make an impact of the world in the world. The 11th house, your life calls you to be, I think I just read the 10th house again for the 11th. Let's rewind it. 11th house, your vitality grows through community, friendship, and future vision. I'm like, yeah, as I started reading that, I'm like, that's the 10th house, Kyra. You just wrote that. So yeah, vitality, growth through community, friendship, and future vision is the 11th house. And then the 12th house is your light develops through spirituality, compassion, and inner reflection. You're going to notice that these houses, when the sun is in this house, it's going to keep pulling you to shine in this way. Those themes. There can be other ones if you look at the house and you describe it differently or you interpret it differently, that's cool. I just wanted to give some general understandings of how I see those houses and how the sun is pulling you to expand in that way. And remember, when the sun transits the houses just in life, even if you're not that sun sign, and your sun does not natally fall in that house, when it is transiting, now the sun is asking and bringing focus to the area of your life in order for you to grow, in order for you to bring energy into that space. So it's wonderful to look at the sun's movements in transit and how your life is asking for you to evolve and expand, and also looking at it in your natal chart and what your potential mission and purpose and energy is really focused on in this, life for you to create. Okay, so then let's talk about the cycles. Life moves in cycles. And something I've been noticing more and more is that everything moves in a cycle, especially life. You might come back to the same theme again and again. So even though the sun is in Pisces right now, in the year that we are in, last year when the sun was in Pisces, you were in a completely different space of awareness. And wherever you grew from that and evolved from that is just the cycle that we're moving through. So you'll never experience the same Pisces season. You might get stuck in patterns where you're noticing you're not seeing as much growth, or the growth is happening slower, or maybe you're just not realizing it is, but growth happens every day. You just might not be putting your focus on it, right? So each time you return to this theme, you return with more awareness, almost like you're like collecting small gems and experiencing along the way. This is where I always get my gem theory of like, okay, it's Pisces season and I'm in this place in my life. What is this Pisces season looking to awaken in my life because of where it's in the chart, right? Or where it's falling in my chart. It's a question that I get to ask myself. And even if you didn't use astrology to ask this question, you can just observe your life and observe what you are experiencing right now and seeing what type of themes keep coming up this month or during Pisces season that keeps pulling your attention. The moth to a flame. Okay? Every year you experience the season different. It's always going to be a different season. You're always evolving and you're growing, and the cycle is moving. It is a spiral that is non-stopping. It's infinite, right? You can't go back. You can get stuck. You're still moving if you don't think you are moving. You still are. You just might not feel like it, but you're moving. Because you're not the same person that you were the year before. And that's just the bottom line. So the cycle repeats, but our consciousness evolves. So if you ever feel like life keeps bringing you back to the same kind of experiences, it might be because that's where your sun is asking you to grow. That's where your vitality wants to shine. That's the area of life that keeps calling you forward. Just like a flower turning towards the sunlight, or a moth being drawn towards a flame. What's that Janet Jackson song? Like a moth to the flame, burnt by the fire. That's the way love goes. And I have on a total Janet Jackson necklace today. That is so funny. I didn't plan that, but it's just funny. Your life energy knows where it wants to grow, right? And sometimes all you have to do is just follow the light. So it's fun. That's what makes astrology. I just looked up at the sun. I'm following the light today. This is where the whole theme and topic of this video came from, was my experience with myself unknowingly just being attracted to the sun. And as I'm experiencing the sun, realizing in that moment that, wow, you were literally a moth to the flame, that even unknowingly and unintentionally, you look and move towards it. And when you move towards it, you feel the warmth of it and it makes you glow. You see the shine. It feels so good. And that's life. That's what life is doing. And astrology is cool in that standpoint of it helps you see a theme and maybe bring language to that theme to ask yourself a question about your own growth and your own evolution, whether or not you want to move it in this way or not move it in that way, right? And then you get to just decide, are you going to enjoy the growth process, or are you going to bucket at every current and, be a Debbie Downer in this life? It's your choice. Play the victim if you want, or play the survivor. Play the warrior, play the thriver. This is your story. It's your narrative. The sun, no matter what, is going to grow you. The cycles are going to change. You are going to keep existing until you don't. But as you exist, you're going to grow. So remember, astrology is not here to define you. Your sun sign is not telling you, who you are. It is just showing you energy that you have access to and might carry and hold, and where that energy might be showing up in a particular way in your own personal life. If you want some help looking at your own sun placement and where the sun is transiting in your life, and maybe getting a question understood, or asking a question on what is it looking to show me, if you want some help with that explaining, let me know in the comments. You can like this video. I really like it when you guys do that. It's always fun just to see who's resonating with it energetically. And subscribe if you vibe here and are aligned to growth, because that's what we're doing. We're growing, and we're growing together. And I'm enjoying every drop of this sunlight. So I love you. Enjoy your sun energy, enjoy your growth, and remember the cycle will always continue. So you'll always have another shot at growing. Every day is a gift of growth. I love you.